Good evening. Welcome back to Music Minute. It's been a hot day out there today, so it's kind of nice to be in here where it's a little bit cooler and hopefully give you something to listen to. Tonight we're going to start with Gather Us In, which is our gathering hymn tomorrow. Somewhat appropriate and maybe a little bit ironic as we gather in person tomorrow for the first time in nearly 4 months. So we look forward to that. This was written by Marty Haugen in 1979, and it came about from another hymn, which is often the case. Oftentimes people have inspiration, if you will, from other hymns that were written, and this actually came from What Is This Place?, which you may recall from our hymnal. That's where this came from, and this was really intended to express in the American tradition as to how we worship and have the experience of worship in Christ's presence. So there's lots of surprise chords in this that you may hear throughout, so it's kind of difficult to declare a key, and it goes all over the place. So hopefully you'll enjoy this, and it's just kind of a lot of fun. I'm sure you recognize that. That is a hymn loved by many, young and old. It defies all ages. So now we're going to switch to As Rain from the Clouds. And when you first hear this, you might think, oh my goodness, what are they doing? Christmas in July. So this is the tune, Afton Water, and it actually is one of the Away in the Manger tunes that you might be familiar with. So most people, when queried about this, will say, yeah, that's the Christmas tune. Today, it's really not. This was actually written in 1983, and it started from Psalm 119, so it actually had nothing to do with Christmas. And it was structured in 2 parts, and so each one of them, as you sing it tomorrow in online worship, if you are doing that, you will have as something, as rain from the clouds, for instance, and then there's a refrain in the second part. So it's a 2-part hymn, and that second part is a refrain of praise, a refrain that talks about praise, dew, and seed. And then the tune, Flow Gently, Sweet Afton, was the original, and the person that wrote this actually only wrote 7 hymns in his time that we are aware of, and this is obviously his most familiar one. But interesting to note here, everybody can write and try their hands at different things. This particular composer, actually, or lyricist, was an attorney for 18 years before he wrote the words to As Rain from the Clouds. Hope you enjoy this. that's sort of a fun dance approach to that. That was actually written by Aaron David Miller, who, if you were part of our evening service that we had, or our Lenten services that we do, Behold Our Light, Aaron David Miller was the composer of both of those, and so that's just a fun dance approach to that. Now we're going to move to Children of the Heavenly Father, and we have a baptism tomorrow in our online worship, which is an exciting thing that we haven't seen in a while. And here at Epiphany, we always sing Children of a Heavenly Father for most baptisms that we do. And this actually, of note, the person that wrote this song was 17 years old when they wrote it. So that's kind of a cool thing. And this is the baptism hymn of Sweden, which is interesting because if you actually study the words of this hymn, there's actually no reference to baptism. So it's kind of unique that it's become this baptism song for us and Sweden, and so we put that through. The tune is, we think, a Swedish folk tune. We don't know that for sure. That's what it's attributed to, so we'll go with that for today. This is in a variation of it. There are 7 or 8 variations through here, all different kinds of organ sounds that you'll hear. It's kind of a fun thing. We don't get to sing this very often outside of baptism, so it's kind of nice to have some time to reflect on it and hear some very different treatments of it. So, Children of the Heavenly Father. So of particular note on that arrangement is from a new book that I just got and was fortunate enough to get from my friend and colleague Norma Ahmet Nelson. And if you remember back to the virtual hymn that we did that was written in her memory, so that came from her library, so it has a special place in my heart. So I hope you enjoyed that. And to finish, we will go over to the piano, knowing how much you love to see me move from place to place. So the final hymn tomorrow will be For the Fruit of All Creation. It also has several other tunes that we sing to, words that we sing to this tune. The text first appeared in 1970, and it was a harvest hymn, as you might have expected, for the fruit of all creation. So the focus was on the wonders of God and the many wonders of God. And you'll see that in the words as you sing that tomorrow in online worship. So it's a simple melody. It was originally written for harp. And what I like about this arrangement is it's something you'll never expect. So hang on to your seat, and we're going to go back to the 50s and see what you think. So a little bit different treatment. Maybe that brought back some fond memories for you. So thank you for joining me this evening. Hopefully you're staying cool. If you are joining us for online worship tomorrow, that will be on Facebook here and YouTube channel at 10:30. And we have coffee and donuts, our Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock. And in-person worship is at 9 o'clock and 10:30. Please remember that you do need to sign up for that before you come, so that it is limited. And also note that there is no nursery available for that service if you were wondering about that. So again, thanks for coming, and we hope you have a good evening.